kindergartners and parents. Today I would like to go over a reading strategy that we have been using in class titled Read, Cover, Remember, Retell. We are using this strategy to help us better understand both fiction and nonfiction text. This strategy is a simple process that has 4 steps in it. The first step in this strategy is to read. However, when we are reading, we read only as much as your hand can cover. Now, this may be a little difficult for kindergartners since most of our books at this level only have 1 line of text per page. So I will show you an example of what we do instead. As you see on this screen, I have a book in front of you that is classic of what we read in kindergarten. I would begin reading, starting with my heading at the top, the weather in spring. I would then continue reading the text at the bottom. It can be warm in spring. Next, I would move on to the second page and continue reading. It can rain in spring. At this point, I would stop. I have read 2 pages of text, and I would go to step 2 of our strategy, cover. Cover what you just read with your hand. Now, since I did not read only 1 page or 1 paragraph, I am going to instead, if you will look below, close the entire book and move on to step 3. Remember. Remember what you've just read. So at this point, I'm going to think in my head about the 2 sentences I just read. What did I read about? I read about that it is warm in spring and that it rains in spring. After thinking in my head, I would then move on to step 4, retell. Retell what you read in your head or to a partner. With this assignment, I would like for you to retell what you read to your parents, boys and girls. So at this point, I would turn to my partner and say, in my book, Spring, I read that weather can be warm in spring and it can rain in spring. Once I have completed my retell of those 2 pages, I would go back to my book and double check to see that I was correct. And as I look on my first page, I see that it told me that it's warm in spring. And on the second page, it told me it was raining. Since I was correct, I would continue reading my book. And I would turn and start on the next page. What can we see in spring? In spring, we can see people in raincoats. Then I would move on to the second page and read the next page. In spring, we can see people in boots. I've once again read 2 pages, so I'm going to cover by closing my pages and thinking in my head about what I just read. I read that it can rain in spring and that people wear rain boots in spring. This is the strategy, read, cover, remember, and retell. Attached to this assignment, I will include a passage that you can practice reading or your parents can read to you, and you can practice read, cover, remember, and retell. Happy reading!